game on the defensive side or with turnovers early, group's ability to rebound from that and close this one out with a win?
It's showing continued growth with this group. You know, we're going to have to find ways to win in different ways. And tonight was one of those nights. They play a different style of basketball. They mixed the defenses up. You know, our guys did a great job of recognizing what it was in the second half. And I think they banded together and communicated the right way.
The team struggled a lot earlier in the season, kind of closing games out like this. What growth? You mentioned the growth of this team. What growth have you seen from their poise closing out games, especially when teams are trying to chase them down for the lead?
Communication. I'm going to always go back to that. It's their ability to communicate with one another, the things that they see, the things that they want. There's a few possessions. Joe, Paulo, and Franz got us into the right set, recognizing what they were doing in the zone. And then when they went man, they did a great job of just talking to each other of what they recognized and what they saw.
As you look ahead to tomorrow night's game, defensively, you kind of talked about it a little bit, but what would you like to see your team do defensively in order to continue this streak against Brooklyn tomorrow?
I think we've got to get back to protecting the rim. You know, they had 54 points in the paint tonight. And again, we've got to do a better job of defending without fouling. And some of these are just, the silly fouls, the swipe downs. We have them stopped in the early possession, and then we swipe down and give a foul. If we can do a better job of playing with our hands being shown and then keep protection on the rim and then getting out to shooters.
Coach Terrence Ross announced his retirement shortly before the game tonight, and he was in the arena tonight. Could you talk a little bit about his impact that he still has on this team, even though he may not be on the roster anymore?
Sitting courtside, I looked over him. He gave a thumbs up as they were running some of their sets. It was so great to see him out there. I mean, he just brought such a great joy to this group that he's been in the gym and in the locker room with these guys. So they look up to him. They're still in chats together. I think he's such a great veteran for our guys with a young group when he was here. It was great to have him.
You mentioned Paolo, Franz, and Joe and their ability to kind of gather the team together. How important is their selflessness? I think they each had at least 6 assists in the game. They were kind of spearheading that attack late. How important is their selflessness in getting the job done tonight?
I think it's so important for this group to be able to stay tied together, communicate the right message with one another. Had guys going in and out, and nobody, batted an eye at, coming in the game or out of the game, because it's about what can we do to become successful. You look at what Jalen did in some of these defensive possessions down the stretch. So, everybody played a part. We've talked about it from the beginning of camp and the year. It is going to be done by committee, and these guys recognize that, and that's what we're going to have to continue to do.
Coach, I know you tend to look at it one game at a time, but just looking back, for your group to record 9 straight wins, match a franchise record, there's obviously a lot of good franchise teams this group has had. Just how proud are you of your group to kind of be considered amongst those teams?
It's big time for this group, but more importantly, I think it's so big time for the fans and the organization. There's a energy, there's a vibe, there's a buzz about this group, and our guys are doing a great job of embracing it, not getting too high, not getting too low, but being able to register, this is something special. But it is a special group of young men in that locker room that are doing it for all the right reasons, which is for each other.
3 straight 30-point games for Franz. What is he seeing, or what are you seeing from him to get him going after he had a little bit of a slower start to the season?
I think the confidence and the trust that he has within his game, but also the confidence and the trust that his teammates have in him. They're finding him, registering and recognizing plays on the fly. Like I said, Joe, Paulo, and he all talked about things that can be done, the different situations. And it's great when you have a group of young men that can make quick decisions, that are selfless, and that are just trying to find the right play. Doesn't matter who scores. It's about making the right play and the right decision while you're on the court.